Good morning, students. Soccer teaches us teamwork, leadership, geometry, art, physics, and a lifetime of lessons we can...
Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Present.
Present.
Here.
Thank you. You all stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge
Liberty and justice for all. Remain standing for the invocation. You want to do the honors, Ron?
Yep. Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day that you've given us, that we can be here and conduct the city's
business, and we just ask that you will be with all our employees, and especially the ones that are working outside in the heat. That this can be a tough time of year when it gets the temperatures we've seen, and we just ask that you keep everybody safe and be with the rest of our community also, because it touches everybody, and just we're thankful the way you've blessed this community and the direction that we're heading. We just ask that you will continue to guide this commission and bless us with the staff that we've had. And we thank you for that, and we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, item number 1, awards, proclamations, and presentations. Employee of the quarter, Jennifer.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. It is my pleasure to present the Employee of the Quarter Award. This quarter was our Creativity and Innovation Award. This award recognizes an employee who stands out for their ability to think creatively, approach challenges with fresh perspectives, and develop groundbreaking solutions that drive progress within the roles or across projects. This award recognizes those who consistently apply innovative thinking to improve processes, meet the evolving needs of the public, and tackle problems in unique and effective ways. This quarter, we would like to recognize an employee who has consistently demonstrated a commitment to innovation by developing technology solutions that improve the way our city operates. This year, he created the Atlas Dashboard, a centralized tool that brings together critical data from multiple departments, giving leadership access to real-time information that supports decision-making, strategic planning, and operational efficiency. His vision and creativity have provided the city with resources that will benefit our organization for years to come. In addition to this achievement, he was instrumental in the establishment of the city's employee intranet a few years ago, and most recently was involved in the rollout of our summer movie nights. By purchasing proper equipment and testing in advance in order to ensure a seamless opening night, which was a hugely successful event. I want to take a moment to recognize the nature of his work in IT. The IT department is often behind the scenes, working quietly to keep our systems running, solve problems before they become visible, and create solutions that make a big impact. Their work is not always seen or recognized, but it is essential to everything we do as an organization, even in this very moment, right now, such as broadcasting the live commission meetings and special events. We are truly grateful for his dedication, dependability, and the countless ways he supports our team every day, often without seeking the spotlight. Please join me in congratulating our Director of IT, Tim Lucenford, as our Innovation and Creativity Award recipient for the second quarter.
Let her get over here.
Congratulations,
Thank
Tim.
you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you,
job,
Tim.
Tim.
Very nice.
Deserved. Well deserved.
Okay, item number 2, approval of the agenda.
I'll make the motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 3, minutes. We have two sets of minutes, one for July the 14th, 2026 work session, and then a July 14th, 2026 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the July 14th work session meetings and July 14th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 4, items from citizens. Are there any citizens that would like to address the commission? Okay, seeing none. Item number 5, items from groups. Are there any groups that would like to address the commission? Okay, seeing none. Item number 6, the consent agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on those items? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 7, A. Rice and Associates Charter Audit, and then the audit contract.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. This evening, we have Dustin Ormiston here with Hay Rice to present the findings of the 2025 audit, as well as presenting the 2026 contract proposal.
Commissioners, I'd like to start by thanking city staff. They've always been good to work with and responsive to the suggestions and the things that we find in being diligent to correct any issues we do have. So I'd like to start by saying that. If you go to page 1, I assume everybody has the audit report in your packet. It's our independent auditor's report. Just to highlight, we have adverse and unmodified opinions. The adverse opinion is that we did not prepare the financial statements on GAAP basis, so that only means that we've chosen a different basis of accounting, which is a statutory basis of accounting in the state of Kansas, to present the financial statements. On that basis of accounting, we have an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level of opinion that you can receive. So basically, that states that in all material respects, that everything was reported correctly on the financial statements. I'll go through a couple of highlights through the report. I'm going to move pretty quick. If at any time after this you would have any questions, please feel free to contact me. But if you go to page 7, this is your base report. It shows the statement of receipts, expenditures, and unencumbered cash on the regulatory basis, which is basically modified cash under Kansas statutes. So from that statement, you can look at what each of the individual funds have done through 25. You start with an unencumbered beginning cash, receipts, expenditures, and end with an unencumbered ending cash. And then we do an adjustment for the accounts payable to get back to the actual cash that's on hand at the end of the year. Where you guys are in budget season, this report's probably fairly relevant at the time. It's always important to kind of review your cash balances and the directions that they're going, and to be diligent on maintaining those. In the last couple years, some of the balances have seen some decreases, so I mean that's something to always be aware of. If you go back to page 28, this is the second report that's probably pretty relevant to you guys at this point in time. This is how the budget compared to the total expenditures for 25 fared. Basically, this report shows compliance with budget law in that none of the funds were overexpended beyond their statutory authority from the budget that was approved by the commission. And then if you go to page 30, this gives you a detailed view of the revenue and expenses on a budgetary standpoint by line item. So if you look at the previous report and you want to know where did we underspend our budget, this would give you a more detailed view as to what line items are under budget and which may or may not be over budget. That follows clear through towards the end of the report. And then if you go to page 75, that starts the report on our federal funds. It's the independent auditor's report on compliance for each major program and on internal control over compliance required by the uniform guidance. A municipality that receives federal funds over $1 million is required to to have a separate audit on those funds specifically. And if you turn to page 78, that gives you the detail of the federal funds that were expended during the year. The basis of an audit for federal funds isn't the money that you receive, it is the money that you spend each year. So for '25, we spent almost $1.9 million in federal funds, half of which was the Federal Aviation Administration, which is the airport. So that's a very brief review of the audit report. Like I said, if you have any questions, I would stand for those. Or if you have questions at a later time, I'm available.
Any questions for Dustin?
I do not have any.
Okay. Looks good.
Okay.
I think we're good, yeah.
Now Dustin will present the request for the city commission to consider approval of the 2026 audit contract as presented by Hay Rice and Associates in an amount not to exceed $65,000 to be paid from the general fund, airport, solid waste, water, and wastewater.
So there again, you have that, should be in your packets, and I would stand for any questions that you may have.
No questions?
Dustin, can you clarify that dollar amount? There is a dollar amount listed in there for the audit, and then an additional amount that is yet to be determined for the single audit. That's why I put an amount not to exceed $65,000.
Yeah, so we have the base audit, and that is kind of set in stone. On each year, we determine on the amount of dollars expended for federal funds, whether you're required to or not, to have a single audit or an audit of your federal funds. That threshold has been increased from $750,000 to $1 million. My expectation is that more than likely that you will continue to have a single audit as long as you have the airport. But we separate that out. Usually that fee is in the same inflation-based increase as what the base year is what we try to keep it.
So the not-to-exceed amount would include both audits, is that
Yes.
Correct, and based on what she's presented, 65, I would feel very confident we would be underneath that.
Okay.
I believe we were at 61 this year. It'll be
Yeah.
in the next voucher list.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the 2026 audit contract as presented by Hay Rice and Associates in an amount not to exceed $65,000 to be paid from the general fund, airport, solid waste, water, and wastewater.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you, Dustin.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Item number 8, ordinance number 4656, the 2026 standard traffic ordinance.
Mayor, Commissioners, ordinance number 4656 adopts the 2026 Standard Traffic Ordinance, which we also call the STO. This is a housekeeping item as we adopt the changes the League of Kansas Municipalities incorporates. We do this every year, and we're getting back on track for 2025. We did just approve that in March.
I thought you did.
So we're back on schedule. City Attorney King did review the changes and drafted the ordinance for your approval. And you each should have a copy.
I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 4656, standard traffic ordinance for Kansas cities.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, any questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 9, ordinance number 4657, the 2026 Uniform Public Offense Code.
Mayor Commissioners, ordinance number 4657 adopts the 2026 Uniform Public Offense Code, which we also call the UPOC. And just like the STO, this is a housekeeping item, and we adopt it every year. City Attorney Kane did review it and drafted the ordinance for your approval.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 4657, adopting the 2026 Uniform Public Offense Code.
Second.
Oh, that was close.
You can have,
I'll give it.
you can have
We'll
it.
give it to Jose.
That was pretty simultaneous.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Item number 10, Liberal Youth Council member appointments.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, we're very excited to bring our first batch of applicants for the new Liberal Youth Council. We established this back in April 2026, so we're excited to get this up and running. The membership body is to be composed of up to 15 students. We do have 3 on the list today that we would like to recommend for appointment. Each of them provided the background information needed. Many of them have attached their letters of recommendation, essay responses, and all of them have had the parental consent form submitted for this. We do have 3 more or so that are in the queue right now that we've been able to kind of recruit on, so we're going to be bringing on some more. We started recruitment kind of mid-May, and so that's pretty late with the school schedule to be able to jam anything else in there.
Right.
But have had good conversations with the high school about helping us with that effort. Making the educators aware of the program is probably the biggest route for us to be able to reach those students, because personal recommendations from educators are much more meaningful for them to be referred for the program. So I expect we're going to see more. We will look to try to have our first meeting sometime probably late August, just after the school year starts up. And so hope to have more of these for you soon. But the 3 that we have today, and we'll probably need a separate vote for each of these individuals, is for Maybeth Garcia, Joshua Ramos, and Melissa Burnaby Vargas.
So just a quick clarification. So the 2-year term, there's a month and a year listed here, but there's not a date. So like it would be September 1, 2026 to August 31, encompassing that whole last month.
Yeah, correct. And if an individual does graduate high school and move on to a university, they leave the community, we would then fill their vacancy, just like any other board. And that's something that, it's okay if we get some seniors this year. We really want a strong group from the beginning to get this up and started. If they continue on and they stay within the community and they're still within that age range, we're okay there as well, so.
Well, I would move that we appoint Maybeth Garcia to the Liberal Youth Council for a 2-year term beginning September 1st, 2026 and ending August 31st, 2028.
Second.
I think Jose nosed him out there. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll just say, I read through all this.
They're
and,
great.
Man, these are really.
They're fantastic.
They're really
Really
impressive
Yeah.
kids. They really are. So, yeah, I
And also want to thank the teachers for taking the time to fill out the letters of recommendation. I feel like this is truly preparing them for the real world.
Yeah.
okay.
They're top notch.
So, all those in favor of the motion? Motion passes 5-0. For Joshua,
I move that we appoint Joshua Ramos to the Liberal Youth Council for a 2-year term beginning September 1st, 2026 and ending August 31st, 2028.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. And then for Melissa.
I move that we appoint Melissa Barnaby Vargas to the Liberal Youth Council for a 2-year term beginning September 1, 2026, and ending August 31, 2028.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Good. Motion passes 5-0. Congratulations to all three of these. That's great. Okay, item number 11, School Resource Officer Agreement.
Okay, so Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners, on an annual basis, the City of Liberal and USD 480 review and update the School Resource Officer Agreement. This item has not been presented to the commission since May 28th, 2024. I think that's actually the first time we ever presented one in all of these years. Although the terms indicate an automatic renewal for successive terms of 1 year each, we do intend to present this agreement in July of each year to coincide with the August commencement date and start of the school year. So Chet is here to answer any questions. I think he is one of the key authors in this document from a couple of years ago, to where we can solidify this relationship with the district.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, when I got here, I had a SRO for a total of 3 weeks, and he resigned from the department. So as I started researching it, going through the documentation, we did not have an SRO agreement, which is kind of uncommon. And when talking with the school district, I think that there just wasn't the ability on both parts to get to an agreement. And so working hard with the operations manager at 480, we were able to finally come up with an agreement. Took us, I'd say, about 7 months, maybe 8, and we were able to, neither side was happy with everything that was in it. It's not perfect according to either side, but we have competing interests and ideas. So both sides said, hey, we'll live with it as it is. It has worked quite well for the 2 years that it has been in effect. And, you know, the city manager wanted to have another meeting with the new superintendent. It was actually the second meeting I've had with him. And we went through it. Again, there's some areas for improvement from the perspective of both sides, but not enough agreement that either side was willing to change anything other than, you know, maybe some minor wording that really doesn't make a operational difference. So what I'm saying is it is working. We can live with this, 480 can live with this, and we're asking the commission to go ahead and approve it again. And I do believe that best practices are, even though it automatically renews, that in accordance with the city manager's expectations, that we bring it back to the commission each year.
So I don't need to, mean to stir the pot, but just out of curiosity, what were some of the areas that you guys didn't see eye to eye on?
Well, some of the areas are like the school district gets to set a schedule. The school district gets to decide how many SROs there are. That's really a challenge for us, because the way that it works is they basically foot the bill for about 70% of the salary for that employee. And so if they said, all right, we decided we only want 1 SRO this year, and we are budgeted for up to 3. I don't have the staffing to allow me to 3, but we do have 2. Mm-hmm. If they were to say, hey, we only want 1 this year, then we would be responsible for that 70% of their salary, benefits, and you know, other costs associated with that employee. So that would be a couple of the bigger ones. You know, some of the smaller things is, you know, I'm required to provide them with an annual budget. I didn't get it to them in time this year. They're required to give me a summer schedule. I have never received a summer schedule from them. But I think what's happening in that regard is they're simply just explaining the summer schedule to the SROs, because those are the ones it's going to impact. It doesn't really impact my staffing or the department. So it's just little things like that we're trying to tighten up a little bit. Okay.
Any other questions for Chief?
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the school resource officer agreement for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Chief. Item number 12, Recreation Center Commission Chambers, HVAC.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for a moment of your time tonight. Matt Quinn with the Little Recreation Department. I'm here tonight to present the Recreation Department received bids for replacing the HVAC unit for the Commission Chamber here. We've had some issues ongoing throughout the last couple of years. And right now, we're working on 50%. It's 73, nice in here. But about a week ago, we had our benefits meeting, and if you were in here, it was a little bit toasty. So we've had several call-outs in the last couple of weeks, and this unit has seen its days. The replacement pieces are becoming just as much as just replacing the whole unit. We received 2 bids back in time for the HVAC project, one from Lee's Heating and Air LLC for the amount of $27,040, and Lynn's Total Comfort for the amount of $27,300. Staff has reviewed both proposals, and we are recommending to use Lee Heating and Air LLC, and to the funds for this project would be coming out of the Recreation Improvement Fund. And if you guys have any questions, love to answer.
Both of these are local contractors?
One of them's from Guyman. Lee's out of Guyman.
Lee's out of Guyman.
Is the basis for your choice here just the price difference, or are there other factors that went into play?
So Lee's Heating and Air, he used to work for Johnson Control that utilized this building. He has since gone on and created his own business. He's the one that we've been working with. We have a maintenance agreement with him, but that doesn't mean we have to use him to replace the unit. We just feel comfortable, and does a great job. Lynn's does a great job as well with the city. We feel comfortable using Lee's for this project.
Are there any specific thoughts about using
Out of town, out of state?
out of town, out of state one versus one in Liberal?
I mean, I have thoughts about it. It's, you're talking
What are your
about,
thoughts?
you're about, $350 difference on a $27,000 plus bid. I think we ought to try and use local whenever possible, and I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of where I was leaning.
It's such a small percentage. I would honestly like to see us use Lynn's.
That's kind of where I was headed.
I can't comment.
So you mentioned, though, one question I do have then is, because the Johnson's Control deal is a big deal, or can be.
We are no longer tied with Johnson Control.
Okay.
We've removed
So you don't
all.
have to have them come in and program anything or what? 'Cause
No.
I know we'd done a job for the school, and it was, they used them, I think, and they're like working with the railroad. I mean.
Well, we had to
As
use
opposed
it.
to-
I get that, no,
It is very tough to.
Okay, so we don't have that kind
We
of
will
issue
no
with
longer
it?
be using
Okay.
Johnson Control. I'm not here to bash any company. They do their job. It just, service call comes from Wichita. So we found that to be very troubling at times. Let's just say that. And I'm just giving my recommendation. If you guys would like to go with Lynn's, we have no issue with Lynn's. They're also a good company locally.
Would we need to do anything with our policy at all?
As long as you're within 1%.
Yeah, I think it's the difference is small enough that we don't need to do anything like that. Well, I will make a motion then that we adopt the bid submitted by Lynn's Total Comfort in the amount of $27,300 for the replacement of the HVAC unit in the commission chambers, with funding coming from the recreation improvement line item within the 1% sales tax.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Abstain from this vote.
Okay. All right, all those in favor? Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Item number, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
Matt.
appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item number 13, PEC work order, lift station evaluations.
Mayor and Commissioners, in 2026, we budgeted $250,000 to replace a lift station in our realm of 6 lift stations. So we thought we knew which one we needed to replace. We've had multiple issues with multiple lift stations. So we requested PEC with their expertise to come in and evaluate all 6 lift stations and recommend the correct replacement for this year. We know we've got one behind the Pancake House that needs replaced. We've got one at the new Love's store that is a total nightmare because truckers flush everything in the world in toilets. And if you remember when that one was put in, they added on to the truck stop and added a lot more. So we just feel comfortable with them evaluating all of our lift stations, tell us which one they recommend, and then give us a list for the next 5 years of which ones we're gonna replace in what order.
So educate me a little bit. What's the lift station? What does it do?
So it lifts the sewage to a certain point and shoves it to the plant.
Okay.
Or
Where they're
becomes
long
no-
distances,
It doesn't gravity flow anymore.
yeah.
It can't, so it can't go uphill, but, so it lifts it and then it starts again.
If you're driving down Tucker Road on the north side, you see that big fenced-in area? That's a lift station that was added when the school was put in, when the Eisenhower was put in. Yeah, sometimes
How many do we have?
6.
6. You said that, that's right.
Yeah. We have one at the airport also, right in front of it's to the north side of the Air Museum, in that, where Elmaro Welding was. Where, yeah, it's right there. The one at Love's, we probably average 6 call-outs a week, sometimes 6 in a day. I mean, it's just part of our infrastructure that you gotta keep on top of, or it could cause you a bunch of problems. Staff recommends the commission approve PEC work order number 26-06 for lift station evaluations throughout Liberal in amount not to exceed $22,500, with funding coming from the repair and maintain lift station line item within the wastewater utility.
And at this point, you don't have anyone scheduled this year to be replaced
We do in 26.
in 26?
Yes.
Just one?
Just one. I mean, we can do all 6, but they're about 250 grand a piece.
Yeah, you may find out stuff you don't want to find out.
I'll make a motion that we approve PEC work order number 26-06 for lift station evaluations throughout Liberal in amount not to exceed $22,500, with funding coming from the repair, maintain lift station line item within the wastewater utility.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussions, more questions for Brad? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Brad. Item number 14, city staff.
I'm on the mic, might as well continue. Just a few things. Water project, had a progress meeting today. Weather days and everything included, they're down to 7 days. They did ask for a 90-day extension, which we did not agree to. So they know they'll be on the LDs in 7 days. They got one crew in town this week working. Bus facility, I'm thinking by the August 13th, we should be done.
Good.
It's that close. All the concrete's poured around the outside. They're doing sheet rock on the inside. They got all the doors hung except the top panels to keep airflow going in. So they're gonna be real close. Taxiway project, I can't say the same. They're about 30 days behind because they had issues with compaction on the base material. But they are working extra nights and weekends. When they start paving, they will pave at night because of the heat and everything. So that's moving forward. We haven't had quite a bit of concrete buckling this week on sidewalks and a couple of streets and stuff. So if you see us pulling off projects, it's going to repair some of that stuff. And if anybody sees that, please let us know so we can get attention to it real fast. I was up at the pool today. To me, they're doing final grade. I got all the compaction tests. If anybody wants to see them, I've got them in a file on an email for every layer that as they were building it up. School starts August 12th. August 10th, we will turn on school zones, not only to get the public used to it, but to make sure everything's working correctly. So there'll be 2 days that they'll get like a pre-warning that they won't be issued tickets or nothing, but the third day it's for real on the 12th. The guys are working on getting all the crosswalks and everything painted around the schools. They will be striping Pine Street out here starting Monday. So if you can avoid Pine Street, it'll probably take a day or two to stripe it with the turning lanes and everything. That's all I got.
Thanks, Brad.
Just a couple of things. I did want to mention for the state of the city, we did record that. We're having issues with the file. So Tim is continuing to help kind of see if we can get that transferred off so we can get that posted. So as soon as we can get that done, we will do that. Couple of things. So downtown, the redevelopment master plan website is live now. And so I passed around some information on that. So we're inviting people to go check that out, learn more about the project itself. There is a short 4 to 5 minute survey that's out there for us to be able to start getting some baseline ideas of perceptions and things that need to change. There's also a very, very cool mapping activity on there where you can go in, and zoom in on a map, you can drop a pin and say, you know, there's an issue here with mobility. Here's where I think something really cool could go in. I have a specific idea for this. Or they can say, I love this right now, please keep it and don't change it. So you can add your own comments on there. People can go to that website, look at the map and see other people's comments and ideas. So it's very cool. It's out there right now. So we invite you to go check that out. It's at the very top of our website on our slider or at cityofliberal.org/downtown. We will be doing outreach. We've got some storyboards and interactive things that we'll be doing as well. We've got those little activity booklets that people can, as they're enjoying the block party that's scheduled for Thursday night, while they're downtown, go ahead and fill that out for us. So that'll be a pop-up outreach tent that we'll have set up during that block party. The block party is organized by KSCB, so we will be communicating. We've worked with them. We met with them again just this afternoon to go through logistics of what that looks like because we will be closing several roads. So 2nd to 3rd Street on Kansas Avenue will be closed from 5:30 to 9 p.m. We want to get that reopened before it gets dark. We'll also be closing 3rd Street between Kansas and Lincoln, and then Lincoln from 2nd to 3rd as well. So lots of areas of downtown. That is very much geared more towards downtown businesses and not bringing in other competing things downtown. So there are a lot of those downtown businesses that are a part of it, that are participating, and just excited to kind of have the spotlight back on them. So we would encourage you to go check that out. Starts around 5:30, 6 p.m. That's all.
I'll just remind everyone, we have our budget work session this Thursday at 3 o'clock. It's on projects, the agenda is out, and you guys should have received it, and it should be about 2.5 hours, so you guys can finish up and get to the block party.
Anybody else?
Nope, she took the words right out of my mouth. You're good.
We can ask about dates, calendars.
Yes, just keep your calendar open for the next week potentially for a follow-up presentation with budget.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, item number 15, city manager report.
Okay, so Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, I have a lot to say tonight, but I will keep it to 5. We have so many great things going on throughout the city. First of all, a huge thank you to Keely, Candy, Tim, Mel, who's here, Bruce, and his entire Parks crew for their efforts on the summer movie. We had the first one on Saturday. I felt like it was a huge success. The people that did not attend, I think, were missing out, and I had several people approach me the next day and ask about it. This is a free event that we offer. We do this for a very low price out of the 1% sales tax, and it is super cool. A huge screen, family-friendly time, and that's really what we're going for here, especially with the water park closed this summer. So thank you all for making that a professional event. This was not throw up a bed sheet and a tiny projector. It was very professionally done, of which I was specific about that I wanted that in the beginning. We had very good sound, very good quality on the picture. Brad did update you already, but we do anticipate the bus facility will be finished in a couple of weeks. Yesterday, we got the final reimbursement from the state, so that's a good indicator that we're about finished. We are in talks to have a ribbon cutting. I think Keely will probably reach out and see what kind of dates work for everybody, but we definitely will invite Rodney Camp's family and make sure everybody's involved with that. It's good to see a big project we've been talking about for a very long time completed. So this has been ongoing for many years, and I'm thrilled that it's almost done. Currently making plans, Alicia said, for the Thursday work session regarding projects and mill levy. I have asked Tim to help assist us, and we are going to utilize Atlas and show how we can enter different projects in the CIP and project out what's going to happen in the coming years. So we'll let you utilize that in real time, and I think that will be very cool for you. This will be the first time that we have used it in conjunction with budget season, so looking forward to that. Thank you to Dustin and everybody at Hay Rice. They're extremely professional. They completed our audit and our financials in record speed, and I know a lot of that had to do with the finance department's work, but also you guys just working at a very quick pace, and we appreciate it so much. So now we can set that on the shelf for a year and just worry about budget season. I never want those two to overlap too much. So thank you, Dustin, and for coming tonight. And then finally, thank you to Tim Lunsford for everything he does for the city. Jennifer is absolutely right. This is an unsung hero that kind of hangs out in the shadows, but he makes everything we do easier by technology. So he is a gem of a techie. He's not really your typical tech guy. I hate to say that, but very friendly, very approachable, will help with just about anything. You know, he has to say, have you turned it off and back on, you know, to several people multiple times, but he's friendly in the way he does that, and he's helpful. So I know he has to deal with all of us, and I so appreciate him. So congrats to him. I don't think there was anybody better for the Creativity and Innovation Award. So that is all that I had tonight.
Item number 16, items from commissioners. Who wants to start tonight?
I can start. I'll
Well,
keep it short.
okay.
As always, I want to thank the staff for all they do. Like I said earlier, I guess during the prayer, it's really hot out. Everybody, not saying that you guys that work in the air conditioning have it made, because I know you gotta walk to your car sooner or later. But it is kind of tough. I know all my guys work outside, and I consider myself a slave driver at this time of year, I guess, because I don't do it on purpose. We started early today and quit early, so trying to knock down the amount of hours they work in the heat. But everybody take care of yourself in this heat, because it is hot. Don't get caught up doing something in the heat that's gonna get you. But we wanna thank staff and all the people that do have to work in those conditions for what you do. And congratulations, like I said, to Tim. That's, I think, quite a program or whatever that you guys have created to thank these, because we know we have a lot of employees that are deserving, and definitely he's one of them, and we thank him for everything he does. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Ron.
All right, I have a couple of things. So I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who tunes in and for the people that continue to come in person to our meetings. Congratulations, Tim, for your award. He does a really, really good job. Thank you for everybody who put together the State of the City celebration we had, was it a week or two ago now? Can't even remember. Thought it was really good. I've heard nothing but positive comments in the community. Allie did several stories as well that kind of highlighted some of the stuff we talked about. So overall, I think it was a great, successful event. Congratulations to the 3 students who were selected for the Liberal Youth Council. Joshua Ramos, I think he did a really good job writing his essay. He talked about connecting and united people in our community. Melissa Bernabé Vargas, she actually talked about the importance of cybersecurity in our community and the schools. Thought her essay was pretty interesting as well. And then Maybeth Garcia, her essay focused on activities for the youth and keeping our young professionals in the community. So thank you to the students who took the time to write the essay and also to the teachers for taking the time to write the letters of recommendation. And I'm really looking forward to all the great things that these students are going to accomplish and maybe even serving on the commission someday. You don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you also for organizing the summer movie night. I was out of town, so I couldn't attend, but I've heard nothing but positive comments about that as well. I want to do a PSA on the splash pads. I wrote something on my Facebook. So we are having residents who are covering the drains with plastic bags. I put something on my Facebook announcing the importance of not doing that. The plastic bag could go into the drains and clog them up and basically cause the splash pads to malfunction. After I did that, then I had more people messaging me about it happening a few days later. So just want to let you guys know it's also happening at the park.
At Mahuron.
Mahuron, yes. So please just don't do that. At the end, what it's going to cause is the splash pads to break. We're going to have to shut them down and then order parts. They come all the way from Canada. So it takes time away from staff and it's time consuming and it also costs money to replace them. So please just don't do that. Right now it's hot and people want to be, they want to be outdoors, but we don't have a pool right now. So they're using the splash pads to stay cool. So please just don't, ruin it for everybody where they can't enjoy the splash pads. With that too, keep your children safe and hydrated. It's really extreme hot temperatures outside. I have had families reach out to me about their air conditioner breaking and they don't know what to do. So do you guys know of any organizations that help with fans? Or I said I would mention that during my comments and I would
Coalition,
ask.
or whatever they call themselves.
Well, if we could look into that, if there's, or if you guys know of an organization in town that helps by supplying fans.
We've also done work through the housing grants over, through the 1% sales tax if they
The
qualify.
emergency.
Yeah.
On the emergency. So
And also, please don't keep your children in hot cars. I know that that's something that we read in the media and news stories all the time, but that continues to happen and even in our nearby communities without oversharing too much information. And then just the school zone, school is about to start, so just plan accordingly because you always see a lot of people sprinting through the school zones when school starts. So please just be careful and cautious and start planning early.
Okay, well, just going down the line, I'll just go ahead and finish with Jose when we're down there. So, thanks to the staff, for all you do. It's hot, so I know probably we're adjusting schedules and whatnot, but stay hydrated and stay safe. I wanna, congratulate Tim. I think he's definitely a hidden gem on the staff, and I know I've appreciated him. I've worked with him for a lot of years on staff, and am very pleased that he is where he's at doing what he's doing. So congratulations to him. I was out of town over the weekend, and when I came back this morning, I drove past the water park, and it's flat. I mean, it's it looks done. It looks great. I mean, it looks great. It's gone, but it's great in that it looks like we're ready now to continue with that project. So thank you to Stoppel and all those guys. I know they did it quick and they did it right, and so thanks to them. Thanks to everybody who put together movie night. I've seen pictures, and it looks like it was a great event. So thanks to the park guys and everybody who made that happen. And I just quick question on the bus building. Are we gonna have signage out there that's gonna recognize Rodney at there? I mean,
We've talked about it and put together some ideas, so
Okay.
I definitely think there
I
will
think we
be-
should
yes.
make sure, you know, I mean, we all know that we're gonna recognize him in that, but it would be nice if we had something on the building or right there near it. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. And then I'm very excited about the workshop, budget workshop on Thursday, in that we get to participate a little earlier in the process, which I'm excited about, that we get to provide a little bit of input there. So that's all I have.
All right. Echoing the other commissioners, thank you to the city staff for all the work that you've done this week, especially for those, as Commissioner Warren pointed out, that have to work outside in this heat. Please take care of yourselves. I went to the gym this morning and I noticed they were already out along Railroad Street doing the weed eating, so that was before 8 a.m. So it's nice to see that. Please keep up the good work. Thank you to the city staff who are putting in the work for the budget preparation and the sessions for that. Echoing Jeff, I'm also looking forward to that. I mean, it'll be my first one, and just kind of drawing on my experience as a county commissioner, that's really when you kind of start to see how the sausage is made, so to speak, and really set the priorities of the commission moving forward from that. So I am looking forward to that as well. Congratulations to the 3 students who made the youth council. I just really think that's a good organization to have, and hopefully we get a lot of participants in that. Also very impressed this summer with kind of the outside or extracurricular activities that we've been able to offer. I mean, I know we had to close down the pool, but the movie night, you know, the band performances, that type of thing, I think are really good to see. Finally, just for those of you who might have some interest, the BJ's play this evening at 8:30 in Wichita. They play the Santa Barbara Foresters, so it's kind of a traditional powerhouse along with the BJ's. The BJ's are currently 1-1. They're in pool play. There are 4 teams in the pool. The top 3 will advance. Because of the results of some other games within the pool, the BJ's look to be guaranteed to advance out of that pool. Although it would be very nice to pick up a win against Santa Barbara, just to kind of have that notch on our belt, and then I think it helps with seeding purposes. So tune into that game. It's scheduled to start at 8:30 or as soon as the other game kind of is over and they get the players on the field.
Okay. You did this on purpose so that I'm the one who has to echo and just repeat everything. Huh?
Ditto.
Right. So as always, huge thank you to staff for everything that gets done. Now is the time where every department is almost in full swing. You have finance, you have all the special projects, then you have parks and maintenance doing everything possible, cement work being done. But I mention that because you mentioned staff being out early. I still saw them out by noon. And that was one of my biggest drivers when we were talking about enterprise coming in, was I also noticed how many of our staff were in those older vehicles that didn't have AC, didn't have heaters. And even in those conditions, you know, there's still massive amounts of work to be done. And even though we're now more efficient, we have less downtime, my biggest concern was always our employees' kind of comfort in some of those situations. And as much as I appreciated them working those trucks until they broke down, I was also really concerned about a lot of their well-being in these kind of weathers. Because I believe it was roughly 2 years ago, we had the 100-degree for an entire week. So, huge shout out to Tim. We didn't even really mention our new dashboard project that's going to be started. So really excited to see that going on top of everything else that he does and his team does to keep the city running. For the water park, I get to drive by it every single day. The day I saw it completely flat, I'm like, all right, now it's time to start building. I think we're a little behind on that. I kind of wish they had gone a little slower, so it gives us more time. Leaving it flat and perfect for so long is gonna be a little rough on us for a minute, but I think it's good and it looks great. And then for the youth council, truly excited to see what a lot of, what they were writing about and how they want to be involved. And I think it would be good to have them also reaching out to their peers and helping get the word out that you can reach out to us, you can affect what happens in your town, but also we've created a mechanism that will allow them to have some say, not just their voice, but also with some of their votes. So it's exciting to see that move forward and how many of them will be future commissioners too. On that, that's all I got.
Okay, ditto.
Yeah.
All right, item number 17, vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers in the amount of $3,320,509.06.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. We are adjourned.